And welcome in, finally, to Football HQ.
Don't worry, George will be getting flogged mercilessly outside Sky City very shortly.
Yeah, this is Football HQ, of course. We do this every Sunday and Wednesday on Facebook, on the TAB page, Facebook Live, of course. You can comment below, give us your thoughts on the show. Miles' attire, my attire, whatever you like. And we've got some competitions later on as well. Of course, Football HQ, 7 o'clock Sundays and Wednesdays right throughout the World Cup, live here from Andy's Bar at Sky City. And you're more than welcome to come down, have a beer with us, have a burger as well.
My neighbours are here. My neighbours are over there. Look, they're just there. Look, they see there. They're our neighbours.
Yeah, it's because
Miles had to blag and onion rings.
Miles had to blag a ride, and that's why they're here.
Exactly.
Now, if you haven't got a TAB account, and you want to sign up and maybe have a bit of a punt during the World Cup, all you do is go to tab.co.nz, sign up, put $10 in your account and use the promo code FootballHQ that you can see there, and we'll give you another 20 on top of your 10, so you got $30 to start punting with. All right, use that Football HQ
But we're also
code there.
going to give a bit of money away now, aren't we? An opportunity to win $50 betting voucher courtesy of the TAB.
And we do this every show as well. All you've got to do is answer this question just below in the comments, and by the end of the show we'll have selected a winner at random. Here is the question for you. In the Football World Cup, only 2 nations have ever defended it. Who are they? Two have ever defended it. Who are they? That's the question. So put your answer below. And Miles, what do you reckon, mate? Might see how this shirt.
I was interesting. I saw that shirt. It gave me a little bit of a rash because it took me back to Rustenburg in 2010 when England are playing the USA, and I got some tickets off a dear friend of mine at FIFA. Unfortunately, they were in the American section, and I had these guys from the Seattle Sounders standing behind me, and literally they stood there 2 minutes before the Robert Green incident. They leant over my shoulder and said, "Hey man, Bobby G's going to have one of those David Seaman moments, man. I can feel him." I said, "Shut up, you bloody Yanks, you don't know it." And literally 2 minutes later, Robert Green let the ball squeeze under his hand and go in the back of the net. So they were good guys. I've got to be better than the geezer in front of me who turned around when the Yanks scored and went, "F you, England, F you, F you."
And you went, "That's not how it's spelt."
No, I grabbed him round the throat and told him that I was going to break his neck every time I did it. He was 25 years old, and then I turned to his parents and say, "Is this the way you bring your kid up?" Jason Pine was standing next to me, panicking, thinking, "Oh my God, there's going to be an incident."
Oh dear.
It's called disciplining.
More parenting tips from Miles later on in the show. But we've got to talk about the games from last night, mate. Belgium have come to play, haven't they? 5-2 over Tunisia. It could have been more.
We've said before the tournament start, they tend to put away the weaker side. Not the weaker side of Tunisia. I think they're ranked. I think they're down to 22 now, but they're ranked as high as 14. But they tend to, if they get on top of a side, they put them away. The only thing I think about Belgium is whether they win the tournament or not is A, the golden generations very rarely win anything. B, when that's, as we saw at the Euros, when the squeeze goes on their little Belgian raisins, they tend to sort of crumble.
That is true. Well, we have seen that in the past, but I mean,
wishful thinking on my part.
Well, they do have one more weak team they can put away.
Yes, they have. I said the good teams. I'm not saying about the group games. I'm talking about later on.
Indeed. All right, so 5-2, big win, and for me, Lukaku, 2 goals.
Yeah.
4 goals down for the tournament.
Harry's going to get 2 tonight, mate, and I'll be back on it.
Got on Lukaku for golden boot at 17s before the tournament kicked off.
You do realise he's injured and not playing against England now?
Well, they reckon
that's the word on the street.
Touch and go. We'll move on to the other group.
South Korea and Mexico this morning. The Mexicans looked reasonably in control. South Korea relied too much on old Heung-min Son.
Yeah, he scored a screamer at the end.
Scored a screaming goal at the end, but it was a consolation goal, and apparently he could be finishing playing for Korea soon unless he does something dramatically heroic for the nation, because he's got to do national service and sign up in the army for 2 years.
And then the third game absolutely gutted me. Germany versus Sweden. I was on this for the draw at $6.60. Was sitting there this morning going, come on, this is brilliant. And then 5 minutes injury time. There was 4 minutes 55 seconds on the clock when Toni Kroos curled that ball into the far corner. I'm sitting there watching it going, why haven't they put anybody on the far post? Why is there no one on the far post?
I know, he was crying. It's quite interesting though, he's not crying as much as the guy overseas, I think in the UK, who had Mexico to win 2-1 and Toni Kroos to score a goal from outside the area. And they showed it, and it's about 6 inches inside the area when he strikes the ball.
Oh, gutted. How much did he stand to lose?
$5,000.
Ooh. That'll hurt. So it means that the Germans, unfortunately, are alive and kicking in the World Cup.
Yeah, I actually thought that they were very lucky, and they don't look quite as bad as Argentina, but they did look a little bit disrupted. And we spoke about this before, whether they're. I mean, Mesut Ozil got dropped. I think that's the first time in a while that he's been dropped, and there'd been a bit of friction between him and Ozil
was gone too.
Gundogan. So I don't know. But now that they've done that, you know what the Germans are like. They're liable to win the bloody thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it's going to go. Now, we're going to introduce something new into the show this week, and Miles, you've compiled a bunch of funnies for us.
Well, I don't know about funny. It's just sort of different amusing things in the World Cup that we've been seeing, like the periphery of the World Cup. First of all, this, and you've probably seen this, has had a fair bit of publicity, but I thought it was a master stroke from Burger King of advertising. Burger King Russia. And they've offered, here you are, you can read it there. That,
I don't know how Cyrillic
it's easy.
is.
Do you want me to translate it for you?
Yeah, if you can.
But in essence, you get a lifetime supply of Burger King to any woman who gets themselves impregnated by one of the visiting footballers.
And it's all about producing the next generation of great Russians.
Next generation of great Russian footballers. But how on earth are they going to be fit enough to play football if they're eating Burger King every day? That's all I'm worried about.
It's a very good point, mate. Very good point.
Also, if you think that we take football seriously, and we do, no one quite takes it as seriously as the Argentinians. When they lost to Croatia 3-0, in the middle of the newsroom, they all stood up and had a moment's silence. And look again, like, we might do this as a bit of mockery and all stand up and have a bit of a laugh.
But they actually said it's a minute's silence for the death of Argentinian football, and that's why they did it.
Do you know what? They're so serious, though. Look, I mean, if it was saying we'd all be laughing,
well, that guy's trying not to laugh.
If someone cracked a fart in the middle of it to break the mood. Now, there's a lot of TV action going on, a lot of conviviality and bonhomie going on in Russia, outside the stadiums, and we found this gem of a clip here with a rather busty individual. Once we can get Jules to press it up, I don't want to go early. Here we go. Yeah, just a kiss, a Panamanian van. Yeah, give me a little peck. He's going to get just a small one. Oh, brilliant. Long live Panama. His wife's going to kill him. Yes. Fraser.
Carlos Jose.
I don't know if your wife's going to kill you now, Carlos Jose. But we've seen a bit of hombre, but that's not just the only thing that's going on in the World Cup. Mexico and Russia
doing wonderful things for international relations.
Look at that. You see this? This is the friendly games. It's the friendly game. Look at the guys.
Tell you what.
I'll tell you what, the geezers in the background filming that are going to get into more trouble than with their wives than Fraser did.
The Mexican bird's not going to have to use a toothpick anytime soon, is she?
No, not at all.
Exactly. All right, mate, well, let's preview the games to come, because we have got, obviously, 1.5 groups left to finish round 2. Yep. And then from then on, each night we've got 4 games, because, as you know, the third game of a group stage, they have to play at the same time to avoid any collusion.
They might not know that.
Well, that's how it works in the World Cup, because the dirty Germans and the dirty Austrians in 1982
stitched Algeria up.
Yeah. Now, they needed a 1-0 win to the Germans for both teams to go through. Otherwise, the Algerians wouldn't go through. So what happened? Germany scored in the first 10 minutes, and then they just played tiki-taka with each other for the next 80.
Yes, the German-Austrian alliance took over once again and stitched up the Africans.
Well, actually, it was known as Anschluss in the press at the time. So the reason that we do now is both group games, the last 2 group games, are played at the same time, so there can be no collusion, if you like. So that means from
Unlike
Tuesday...
Trump and the Russians.
From Tuesday, there will be 4 games tonight, and we'll wrap up the group stages pretty quickly. But the first game tonight, Miles, close to your heart, England versus Panama.
I'm going all confidence on this. I'm all guns blazing. We've seen throughout this World Cup, there's no easy games. It's very tight, and sometimes it's hard to get that toehold. We saw Brazil had to wait till injury time to beat Costa Rica. I just fancy England, though. The way they started off against Tunisia, they're not going to miss chances like that again.
Yeah.
I think their confidence is high. Panama are there for the taking, and I think that England are going to win quite comfortably.
Well, we saw the Belgians put the Panamanians away 3-0. It was tight at times, but they got it done. But then they turned around and beat Tunisia, as we've talked about, 5-2. a team that England needed extra time to beat, or injury time to beat.
Yeah, but that was the first game up, though. You can't. It's like saying, if they beat them by that, then we're going to beat them by that. That's a childish and naive argument.
All right. Well, so what's your predicted score then? What do you think?
4-0.
4-0. You're going 4-0. I think England will win. I think it might be a bit tighter, but we'll go.
You're hoping.
I'm hoping it'll be a bit tighter. All right, Japan, Senegal. Now, both these teams were the outsiders in this group, and they both won their first games. Funny story, this morning the Japanese coach was asked, what have you asked of your team ahead of the Senegal clash? And he said that they put on 5 kilos and grow 5 centimetres, because obviously that Senegalese team is a big team, Miles. It's going to be an interesting clash of styles.
They're a very physical team, but I was quite impressed with the Japanese. But it's hard to gauge because they're playing against a 10-man Colombian side, so you don't know whether that played into it. But they had the resilience to come back from when the Colombians pegged them back and go on and win the game. And they've got some. They're fast. They're nippy. Will they get bullied? Probably.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the physicality of Senegal probably will see them over the top of Japan.
Yeah, and they've got Mane as well.
Yeah, although he didn't do much in that game that they did win.
He's not going to go quite for...
No, yeah, I just think because same with Salah. When you play in that Liverpool team, where you've got Firmino, you've got Salah, you've got Sane, they can't mark everybody. But in this, everybody knows you're the best player. So he has 2 men on him all the time.
I think they've got another couple of decent players that might do some damage, but we shall see what we shall see.
Indeed. No, Poland, Colombia, the 2 favourites in this group, both lost. So everything on this game, Miles. For me, the Poles in their first game looked a bit disjointed. There was how many passes went out of play that they played. The Colombians, as you say, had a man sent off early, and they nearly got something out of that game against the Japanese. In fact, at 1-1, they sat back with 15 minutes to play and thought, we'll take the draw. I think Colombia are probably in a better place now than Poland.
I'm glad you said that, because I like a bit of a dispute and an argument, and I'm going to go for the Poles. I just think the Poles are underrated. They're a lot better than that side that are out there. They're disciplined, and anyone who's got Robert Lewandowski in the side is going to be a danger for me. And if the Colombians can keep their heads, I might lean towards your side, but I just think that the Polish discipline will see them through this, and they'll rattle. They'll play hard as well against the Colombians, knock them out of it, try and get another one sent off,
we'll
and go on to win. 2-1 I'm going for.
You're going for 2-1, yeah. I think Colombia probably the same score. That's where I'm leaning. All right, Tuesday morning, Saudi Arabia play Egypt, and what is a dead rubber? I mean, the Mo Salah factor comes into it. Can Saudi Arabia salvage anything?
Let's move on.
You might
be able to make some money on it if you want to pick someone.
Yeah.
What is it there? Let's have a look. Draw, Saudi Arabia. Ooh.
Egypt $1.80. I think you can get Mo Salah to score and Egypt to win for about $2.10.
$1.80 on Egypt is decent money. Saudis are average.
Yeah, they're very average. All right, the game that everything's on, though, this will decide who wins the group. Uruguay versus Russia. The Russians only need a draw because of their goal difference.
This is going to be interesting because the Russians so far, for me, have just been running on adrenaline. They've been lifted by the crowds and scored. I mean, 8 goals they've scored, which we said the other day that there's as many as Spain scored in winning the World Cup in 2010.
Yeah.
How long's the dream going to go on? Uruguay have looked a little bit scratchy.
Yeah.
But they've got class all over the place. They've got a better front two than the opposition they've played so far. So
we just haven't seen it because they do play quite defensively. Really, they play 2 holding midfielders in front of the back 4, so they really play on the break a lot. I think this got every chance of being a draw. This game.
I'll go for Uruguay to win.
All right, there you go, Uruguay to win. Now, Iran versus Portugal. Iran 3 points, Portugal 4 points. There is everything on this game.
I'll go. You carry on. You do your bits in there because I want to read you something in a minute. Which
all right, okay.
Goes on about these groups.
So Iran, obviously, they won their first game against Morocco with that 95th minute own goal. Portugal, they drew with Spain and then have beaten Morocco as well. The Iranians lost to Spain by that 1 goal. So with the 3 points they've got,
and had a goal disallowed as well.
Yeah,
which was VAR,
which was close. So everything on this game, Iran need the win though to get through, don't they?
Well, listen to this. This is if you're trying to work out. I was going to say work it out yourself because here we are. Look,
Professor
Spain
Miles
is certain to advance if it wins or ties against Morocco, which is already eliminated. If Spain loses to Morocco, it still advances if Portugal beats Iran. If it loses by 2 goals or more and Portugal ties with Iran, Spain is eliminated. If Spain loses to Morocco and Portugal loses to Iran, second place would go to whichever team out of Spain and Portugal had lost its 3rd game by the lowest amount or had scored the most.
He needed 6 whiteboards just to get there, and he
honestly,
still didn't finish.
I didn't do that. Someone else wrote that. CBA, it's a virus, can't be asked. And that's exactly, once I got halfway through that, I thought, no.
Now, Morocco, I think, one of the unlucky teams in this tournament, along with Peru. They've played 2 very good games, but they just don't have a finisher. So they dominated Portugal, they dominated Iran, and lost both games at 1-0. They come up against Spain, who are not probably going to be so kind. I see Spain winning this by a couple.
I think Spain are going to kick on now and start showing the side that they're going to be. Morocco, I was told by a very dear friend of mine that he had it from the horse's mouth that Morocco were going to win.
Yeah.
So I followed his advice.
So did
I lost money.
So did I.
Didn't I, Ricardo?
You did. So did
Thank
I.
you.
Thanks, Mr. Petresca. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Group C, Australia versus Peru. The Aussies need a win here to advance.
I think they can get a draw. Whether they're going to win or not, I don't know. Well, I mean, the All Whites went close, so why not?
Yeah, I don't think a
not?
draw is enough because they haven't won one yet.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, whether they can get the win or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
not sure.
I think Peru probably got too much class.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest. Denmark, France, this decides who finishes top in this group.
The French will win.
Yeah, I think the French got
Denmark
too much.
are solid, but they're not France, and France are getting better.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get France at $2.15, which is actually pretty good money.
That is massive money. Get on it now.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him about back in Morocco against Portugal. Get on this now.
And then Group D on this is also, of course, Wednesday morning. Wraps up. Iceland take on Croatia. Nigeria play Argentina. Now, Iceland beat Croatia in qualifying for this. If they get a win here, they're through.
It's got to be vengeance. Look at the way that both sides are playing. Iceland finally broke down against Nigeria.
Yeah.
A great goal to open up, and then they just fell apart. Croatia will be strutting with confidence, and that, for me, is even better value than the last bet. $2.30 for Croatia on there.
The only caveat is that the Croatians have a few influential players on yellow, so they might not play this game, potentially. So we'll see.
The reserves can beat them.
Yeah, indeed. All right, and then Nigeria, Argentina. The Argies are a mess. The players have gone to the FA and said, we want the coach sacked. They're horrible in goal. They're slow and old at the back. They're old in midfield. Yeah, I know. I tell you, I'm choking on the Argentinian dreams is what I'm choking on. The only thing they've got is going forward. And what Croatia did so well is starve Messi of any service at all. If the Nigerians can do that, and with the pace they've got up front, they can win this game.
They certainly can win it, and the Argies are total shambles at the moment, and can they draw themselves out? But we saw them in qualifying when it was all down to the wire, and I think it was 1-1 against Ecuador, and then Messi stepped up and got a hat-trick. Will he do it this time? I don't know. Knowing Sam Paoli, he'll probably drop Messi.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll play better without him.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Get some kid in from Boca Juniors. But yeah, so there you go. Those are the games coming up now. We have this competition called Wake Up a Winner, where Miles and I put on 3 bets every time we have a show, and we put $10 on each bet. One bet can be a favourite. One bet has to be between $2 and $3. One bet has to be over $3. We're keeping a tally of how we're going, and at the end of it, whoever wins gets to pick a tattoo that the other one has to get. This is where we are at the moment. George has got the graphic there, and it's not looking good for me at the moment, Miles.
No,
you had a good
week 2 results. Like I said, he was mouthing it off last week, giving it all that. Oh yeah, let's get ready for the tattoo. And that. Oh, and a week later, look at it. His arse is getting whipped. So what have we got for this week, Ricardo? What bets have you got or I got? Who's first, George? Ricardo.
Me? Okay, right. So this is what I'm going to go. Here's my favourite bet. Total corners, over 9.5 at $1.65 between England and Panama. That's a great bet. England are going to be pounding Panama's door down. There will be a lot of possession in that Panamanian third. There'll be a lot of corners. So for me, that is a good bet. My next bet, $2.80, Olivier Giroud to score against Denmark. Denmark and France have played a couple of times recently. The last 3 goals France have scored against Denmark have all been from Olivier Giroud. So he likes playing against the Danish. So $2.80, I like that. And then I've gone balls out on the last one. I'm calling it Argentina are done. The camp's a mess. They're old at the back. They're old in midfield. They've got a rubbish goalkeeper. The pace the Nigerians have got. They're going to win this game. They're going to get through to the next round. $5.80.
That is a bet of a desperate man who's desperately trying to avoid the tattoo of death. If you've got any suggestions for what tattoo we should have, by the way, just put a note on the Facebook page underneath the video, the TAB Facebook page. Here I'm going all England, all in there as well. Rule Britannia. England, Panama, half-time, full-time double, $1.65. Very happy with that. England, Panama. Jesse Lingard to score. and England to win, $2.70. You could get Harry Kane for $1.60, but I fancy Jesse Lingard. He was close. He got in the area. He gets in the area a lot, and he was very close in the first game against Tunisia. And England, Panama, over 3.5 goals. It was actually $3, so that's coming in. So other people must be putting a bit of money on that as well. $3 for that, over 3.5. So England are going to score 4 goals. That'll be 4-0.
And all that means
Lingard with a hat trick. You only need one, Jesse. It's all right.
All that means is I'll be up at midnight cheering Panama onto a 0-0 draw.
But you can, because the guys at Otatahi, is it Otatahi, have I got it right?
Otatahi, yeah.
Otatahi, tattoo. If I keep saying it all together, my teeth will fall out. They've given us a $150 tattoo voucher to give away, those lovely guys. And all you got to do is tell us what footballer is this tattoo on his back. Who's got this tattoo on their back?
Just comment below.
Just comment below on the TAB Facebook page. Just put your answer in there, and you can win a $150 tattoo voucher. And you can use it on yourself, or you can stitch your mate up with it.
All right, mate. Well, that is the tattoo chat. Of course, you've seen where you can get that. Otatahi, thanks very much for coming on board. Miles is but Silence of the Lambs, he keeps passing me moisturiser and say it rubs it on its skin. He's doing that all the time at the moment. A bit creepy.
Let's just see what he does with moisturiser.
Now, Tim Payne is coming on the show shortly as our first guest for Football HQ for this World Cup. But before we get there, he's been out and about with our producer Ant playing games in public. This is what they've been up to.
Lads, we're back here for another segment head-to-head here with Tim Payne, and this is called the Wild West Challenge. Giddy up, cowboy. The Wild West Challenge is pretty simple. These two punters will go back-to-back, pace out 3 steps. They'll chug the chocolate milk, then they'll peel back the banana, they'll eat that, and then when they've finished that, they'll turn around and throw the banana peel at their opponent. The winner, obviously, is the person that does it first. Here you go, lads. Here's your weaponry, your arsenal. Here you go, Tim. Here you go, Jimmy. Lads, have you got your bananas ready? Lads, have you got your chocolate milk ready? And 3, 2, 1, consume. Tim Payne, hey geez, he knows how to do it. And he does the Buffalo Wild. Jimmy's lost the banana. Oh, he's done this one. He's gonna finish the banana. I reckon James has won that. You inhaled that.
I'm a big man, mate.
What are you, 2 mates?
Yeah, and some, mate.
I reckon we've got our first winner in head-to-head, so yeah, congratulations to me. Hey, mate, not a big fan?
Yeah, not really, to be honest. That chocolate milk didn't go down that fantastic, but congrats to Yami on the win.
Yeah, good. Yeah, there you go, $100 richer. Well done, Jimmy. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, lads.
Welcome back into Football HQ here live at Andy's Bar in Sky City. And joining us now, Tim Payne. I've got to say,
you get the lights so you see your beautiful. You got a bit of a beat in there, son, didn't you?
I did, unfortunately, but he seemed to have a good technique with the banana.
Yeah, the technique with the banana was like Godzilla.
Well, I was going to say, what we didn't tell you, producer Ant stitched up. James's surname is Lovelace, mate. You never had a chance.
That's a lame adult joke.
Lame is what I do best. Now, we have got a couple of winners. Christopher Reeve, congratulations. The tattoo that you guessed was, of course, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. That was his back, so a $150 Otatahi tattoo is all yours, my friend.
It's
will be in touch.
with a B, but
who's in charge
George
of
is a bit deaf. I said, but he said, how do you spell that? And I said, I-B. And he put P.
You know, his text, IP address, he's all over it. And our $50 winner of the $50 TAB tab as well is Nathan Johnson. And the answer to the question, only 2 nations to have defended the World Cup are Italy and Brazil. Italy 34-38 and Brazil 58-62. But Tim, we're not here to talk to you about that. We're here to talk to you about your football, mate, and it's a World Cup, of course. And you spent plenty of time in the UK. Any of the guys that we've seen on show this World Cup that you've come up against in your career?
Yeah, funnily enough, actually my first game for Blackburn Rovers reserves, we came across Paul Pogba and Jesse Lingard.
Yeah.
Ended up getting thrashed 5-0 that day.
Did you make any tackles? Did you touch him? Did you touch him at all?
Didn't get near him. Didn't get near him at all.
How difficult is Pogba to play against?
He's next level of his class. Yeah, it just makes everything look very, very easy.
Inspector Gadget Legs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a big man as well, which is sometimes surprising, you know. And he's able to deal with the ball so well, you know, being so big. It's good watch.
How you know, when you go over there and you're in training regimes and everything, then and playing against that type of player, what was the hardest thing you found there? What was the thing that shocked you, perhaps? And thought, blimey, that's a bit tougher than I thought it was going to be.
I think just the competitive nature of day in, day out. You know, like every single day you wake up, it's you have to fight for your place to, you know, be in the team for the week, or you know, to be the best in training. You know, because you know everyone else there is as good or if not better than you are, and you know you have to work that 110% every single day training.
So what happened? I understand that there was some work permit problems or something in the end for that, or was that just an excuse because you were crap?
Yeah, I actually have seen that myself, and that was no reason. I just generally got released from that bin. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I like, a bit of integrity, honestly, mate. But hey,
he's never going to come back.
I'll tell you what. No, but there's thousands, if not millions, of people around the world who try to get in there and don't even get a look in the door. So have you got ambition to maybe move overseas again? You're in the States for a while, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in the States for a couple of years. I mean, I think anyone playing football in New Zealand, or anyone playing football in general, wants to be playing at the highest level they can. You know, I think you've got to have some sort of ambition with anything you do. And so hopefully I still got another move or two in me. And that's my goal, is obviously to get back up.
How old are you now?
24.
You look very young, mate. It's that beard that makes you, probably adds it so he doesn't have to get ID. Now, you might have noticed Ricardo was moving that towards you. Yeah. You didn't realise you were wearing a lapel mic.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That's right, but it's very kind of you.
Hey, well, I'm trying my best. You're the TV professional, mate. I mean, I'm just a radio guy. I don't know these things.
We've both got faces for radio.
Yeah, well, we definitely do. Now, Tim, of course, with your name, there are a few parallels. So I've got to ask you, if you had the choice of being Tim Payne, the new Australian cricket captain, who are getting thrashed all over the place by the English at the moment, or T-Pain, the rapper, for a day, who would you go with?
I think just on that fact alone, probably, and also the fact that being a rapper would be quite an interesting lifestyle.
And nobody wants to be Australian.
I was just wondering which one of them's more likely to get shot first.
That's a good question, actually.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they drop the 5th ODI to England, he might be a bit worried coming home to Sydney.
Right then, Tim, go on, we're going to put you a squeeze on you now. Who's going to win the World Cup, mate?
It's a tough question there. I think even though with the first result against Mexico, I still have to go with the Germans. Germans all day.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call, because I mean they're so good, and they've got the history for it, and that'd be the third back-to-back. You'd have to change the question next time.
Next time we'll have to change the question. And before the tournament, you like the Germans, but now you've seen a couple of rounds. Who do you like? Who do you think's actually playing really good football?
A lot of teams are. It's the World Cup. You know, people stand up for the country. So, I do like the look of Brazil, how they're playing. You know, with their attacking players. The front three, it's very scary. France have the ability to do it. Whether they do it on the big stage is another question. And I think a team like Croatia, who they have maybe not as big a stars as some of the others,
In England.
Well, it's just on Brazil. You mentioned Brazil there. I mean, we're not exactly fans.
Make it quick, because we've got to move on.
Well, yeah, we're not exactly fans of Neymar on the show. But if you had to deal with somebody in your squad who's all about him, complete prima donna, he's taken like Cristiano Ronaldo to DEFCON 5. How do you deal with that? I mean, you've captained teams.
I think that's one thing I would say. It's always tough looking from the outside in. Yeah. And yes, he comes across as that maybe. Yeah. But really, we don't know as much as they do in their camps. You know, and I think he's got to remember he's a great player. And he's doing a lot of things good for his country. But yeah, look, if that is the case, it is tough to deal with, and because in the end of the day, you want your country to do well, and it's not about the individual; it's about the team.
Yeah. All right, mate. All right, listen, hey, thanks for coming in, mate.
Appreciate it, Tim, even though it is a couple of weeks late. You know, we managed to drag him off K Road tonight, so that's all right. It's
mate,
chilly out there.
Have a couple of soda waters. Obviously, you're in training at the moment, so you're not drinking, but have a couple of soda waters, and we might get you back, because we've sacked all our psychic waitresses, so we might have to get you back.
To do our predictor very, very shortly.
Yeah.
But first of all, we've got a little segment here. You'll enjoy this. Prince or Pratt. And we've got only one Prince this week.
Yeah. And it's a guy that's carrying his whole country on his back.
A little bit like, Atlas. Was it Hercules? One of them, anyway.
One of those blokes.
Who carried the world? Was it Hercules?
That was Atlas.
Was it Atlas? carried him there. Look, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I'm not a great fan of Cristiano's as a person, but no doubt he's a magnificent footballer, and he is carrying them. And I just, is he going to be able to carry them all the way through to the final?
He did it in the Euros, but it's a smaller
Maradona's done it, but he had better players around him.
He did, yeah.
Pele's done it, he had better players around him. I just don't know if Ronaldo can go all the way.
No, exactly. It's going to be a tough one. Now to the Pratts and
Plenty
this bloke.
of Pratts.
This bloke. Honestly, if Phil Mitchell from East End has got any Latin roots, I think we might have found one of his relations.
I'm sure Phil Mitchell had a few Latin roots, especially when he did that series.
This guy, George Sampaoli, he's the Argentinian coach. He's a nut job. The players have gone to the FA to have him sacked mid-tournament, Miles.
Yeah, they don't want him in charge by the next game. He's picked a lot of local-based players in the side. He's left the likes of Dybala and Higuain on the bench. He left Icardi out of the squad. They're a shambles, and they think that a quick fix is to get rid of him. Watch this space, whether he actually goes or not. I wouldn't be surprised if they do get rid of him, if the whole team want rid of him. There's another one as well, we mentioned before, Neymar.
Yeah. Look at the state of this. Not only is his Barnet rubbish, but he's been awful first two games, and it's just me, isn't it? It's all about me. And then he scores a tap-in that you or me would have scored, and he's in tears at the end of the game.
I do think it's
Costa
a bit
Rica.
rich for you to give people stick about their Barnet, but we'll move on. We'll move on from that one.
These are fine lots. What are you talking about?
We hate there's certain odious players that no one likes, probably not even their mother. Pepe is certainly one of those. Look at this here. Look at the way that he's been assaulted. Oh, my word. Oh, dear referee, look what he's done to me. And he gets knocked. Just disgraceful. And he does that sort of thing all the time. And Ramos is another one, Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
But Pepe has been... He's been like this probably all his career.
Well, I think he's where Ramos learned it all from, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's the Portuguese Martin Keown.
Yeah, and now we're going to, we do this at the end, we pick a game, and we haven't got a psychic chicken or Paul the Octopus. We had psychic waitresses. Now, they've picked the wrong result both times, so we've sacked both of them.
Yeah. We've
no
run
mercy
out
on this show. So now we're going to give Tim Payne the opportunity to come in here and pick up one of those trays with Poland-Colombia game. Which one is he going to pick? Come on, Tim.
Come on, Psychic
down.
All White.
Psychic All White is going to go.
Colombia.
He's gone for Colombia. So Colombia to beat. It is Poland. It's not two Colombias. There we go. Look there.
Look at that. Magic, thank you very much for your help.
Thank you very much, Tim. Well,
couldn't have done it without you.
Thanks for watching. Keep the old suggestions coming in. And the trolling. We love the trolling. Nothing like a good troll. And we'll see you back on Wednesday at 7 o'clock here at Andy's Bar, live streaming on the TAB Facebook page. And don't forget, open a new account, put $10 in, put the promo code FootballHQ in there, and you'll get an extra $20 to put on my selections, not his ones.
What are you doing? You're learning.
Yeah. At least one of us is funny.